What's this on the screen? This just shows you how life can be so, oh my gosh, it can be overwhelming. Let me go ahead and get to you. All this going on. So check this out with this lady. I'll let her tell you why she on the screen. Here we go.
Good morning, you guys. I really don't want to come on here acting like this, but it's like, this is so depressing. And I cried so much about this that I can't even cry anymore. So last week I made a $200 payment out my first paycheck. It wasn't much, but you know what I mean. My paycheck was only $278, but I put 200 and I kept 70 for myself because I got 3 kids. I needed something. And I work at a place that wasn't like Walgreens. I'm not gonna say where I work at now, but when I was working at Walgreens, Walgreens make, good money. But since I got pregnant with her and stuff, and it was a lot of stuff, my house getting messed up from Francine or whatever, that's a whole nother story. But yeah, my paycheck was, pretty decent. $400. So I was like, you know what, I'm gonna put $350 on this one. I'm gonna catch up in no time because it says after I put that $200 I have $1,700 left to catch up. But I get paid every week. I'm like, okay, I'm gonna catch up with no time. Then my fiance, he ended up getting the news too that he could go back and work in the plant because when I had my baby, he took 2 weeks off because who else gonna help me? I have no other help. So yeah, he took 2 weeks off. Got an excuse from my doctor, and they accused him for having fake excuses. Like what? So yeah, he getting back in the plant. Good news. But then I go back online to make my $350 payment. They blocked me from making payments. Like, are you serious? So after I seen that, I got so aggravated. I ended up calling them. They was like, yeah, it's 80 days late and it's up for repo. And I'm like, okay, but me and the lady had an agreement, me paying every week to catch up. You know what I'm saying? And I was like, since it's went on for so long, they're gonna repo it for not communicating. But y'all, I have been communicating with this lady all day. Like, where is this lady? Like, where's my caseworker? Like, I don't know how this shit works. I really don't. But
Clearly.
I feel like this is so messed up. Like, have my car repo right after having a baby. I'm just getting back to work. Like, can somebody please hear me out? Like, I don't understand this. Colonel was always on time until now. But and it was like the only way we'll call the repossession if you put down what you owe, which is $1,500 that I don't have. If I can't pay, the five whatever it is to pay every month, what makes you think I pay the whole $1,500 right now? I just told you I started back working. So now I'm here, just paranoid every day, hoping that my don't get told. But yeah. And then, people just tell me how to hide my car. I don't want to hide my car. Like, that's not me. Like, I rather, I'm always a person, pay my stuff on time. But it's, I just had a baby. Like, and people, I hate when people be like, oh, it's your fault you had children, it's not. Like, okay, I was, I had everything together. Everything's good. But it feel like everything went down here, hill 9/11. I remember the day, 9/11, 2024. Like,
She said she had it together. Ma'am, you didn't. I'm sorry to say you did not have it together, in my opinion, because living check to check is not having it together. You had what, 3 kids? You must have thought you had it together. And she mentioned about her fiance. He took off 2 weeks and they accused him of having a fake doctor's note. She says, I don't want to hide my car. That's not me. Well, first of all, you can hide all you want to. When you go to work, they know where you work. They're going to go ahead and pick it up. So that's not going to work. This is why I've been saying, why? I don't understand women just having children. You had it together? Are you really serious? And she mentions there's no one else to help. Well, who helped you get pregnant? This is, it blows my mind. I don't know. Women are thinking, well, I love this man, so I got to have a child by him. No, you don't, because people change, love change. People fall in and out of it. And it made me think, having a baby, you already have two. Did you think, okay, having this baby, what about daycare? Because this lets me know the time you took off, you could have been working and saving those checks to keep a vehicle, not thinking, not planning. And here's the thing about it. As I said before, people say, oh, she's not getting any help. And they're like, oh, you had those kids. That's the whole thing about it. That lets me know that more than likely it is highly probable that some people tried to talk with her and tried to tell her and didn't want to listen. I think it's highly probable. I can't say for sure because I don't know her personally. And then when they need some help, no one's coming. He took off 2 weeks, as he should, because he got you in that situation. This is a group effort. So the members of the group that created it need to be the one to fix it. It looks like you might end up being a stay-at-home mom. Well, no, we can't afford that. Unless you are really, really rich, who's sitting up here even check the check? And that's when why did you have, oh my gosh. And that's probably why she's not getting the help. So once they repo the vehicle, ask yourself, how will she get to work? Once they repo that vehicle, how will she get to work? Might end up losing that job. Again, I hope you can afford. It might be time for you to be a stay-at-home mom. A wedding planner, you don't need one, in my opinion. It look like you might want to see they got an opening for the JP next week. It's time to get real and stop all this fairy tale, man. Oh, it's gonna be all right. Oh, I know it is. Yeah, okay. Yeah, a lady thought that too was gonna be all right, and the next thing you know, they had to walk home. Why? Because the car was repossessed. It was already gone. But she had faith. We got to be realistic and stop using religion as a crutch. I've heard this people do things. Oh, it's a plan for me. Might want to plan that birth control because having children, I mean, it blows. That is a big responsibility. I thought about that. Did they even think about how much it's going to cost for daycare to go down? I'm just saying. Did you have that in the equation? How much is daycare going to be? Anyway, I think about that. How much is it going to be? If you couldn't afford that car, and see, it's $500 a month, that's $1,500. And then she says she owed 17, and she paid $200. Don't understand life because I could have told you. I'm just saying me. I would have said, "Girl, don't pay it. Keep that $200 because they're gonna go ahead and get it." We had an arrangement. Was the arrangement in writing? A lot of times people don't want to listen. Was the arrangement in writing? Then you had a conversation, and he said, she said, doesn't work. If you had to put it in writing, talk to, okay, so and so. So I just want to kind of recap. Here's our game plan, and send an email. We probably don't have time for all of that. That could have been your savings grace. And if she agreed, and if they agreed and said, okay, yeah, that's correct, and then you paid that money, you could have been safe. If not, they'd be facing more than likely, possibly not an attorney, but just common sense. Oh, I don't know, breach of contract. But see, when you're a loud mouth like me, they don't want to listen to you, so you just let them go on. So people were saying, you had those kids, they probably told you when you had the first one and two, and she probably didn't listen. And now it's three. Who gonna be saying permission to help you because they see you're gonna do what you want to do. And you obviously, man, and I'm sorry this happened, you didn't think this through. Don't think life through, but living it. And you can even have plans, but we can't be sitting up here with rose-colored glasses on. I think I'm gonna sit up here and not pay these bills because tomorrow I'm gonna win that. I got a good old fit. I'm gonna win that lottery. I'm gonna win 10 million on my scratch off. Really? What if it doesn't happen? We can't be living in la la land, living a delusion. We gotta come real. She think it's like the lady that they served her with an eviction paperwork, and she came up with, I paid $100 on the rent. Man, you know darn well that apartment there's no such thing unless you're on Section 8 of a $100 monthly note for an apartment. But I paid $100, and did the owner say, okay, then listen, you owe 2,000. Well, you gave me 100, then I'm going to go ahead and stop. You don't know how life works, and you're living it. That's what's really sad. It's enough for the ones of us that are logical and have some degree of intelligence. But when you a little slow, this how it's always going to go. I'm just sorry. Because you don't want to listen. When you're a little slow, it's enough for the ones that we have common sense and we are logical and things happen. She paid $200, and I thought that's what you thought, but you signed a contract. The contract is not based on what you thought. Again, don't know how life works. Did the contract say that anytime you can pay $200 and we're going to go ahead and let you keep the vehicle? I'm willing to bet you that it didn't. But that's what you thought. Thinking comes from not knowing. And I don't think she understood the contract, how it works. They want X amount of dollars. So you could have went ahead and just kept those little $200 because what you didn't have a meeting of the minds. Her mindset did not in turn relate to the contract that she signed. Didn't have a meeting of the minds, and the next thing you know, that's how it goes. Sad. It is very sad. Very sad. Anyway, let me know what you all think. We gotta have a meeting of the minds. Gotta. We can't sit up here and think, well, what I said wasn't what they should have done. They did what they wanted to do. Just like she did. She decided to have a child. And she thought, I guess maybe she thought it was going to be okay. So like she did what she wanted to do. So did those people with that contract. I guess she just didn't understand. She didn't understand the handwriting on the wall. Sad. And this is how people, life just starts to fall apart. It just starts to fall apart. And now we don't even know if the fiance, because they're accusing him of having a fake doctor's note. I hope and pray it doesn't lead to a termination. I hope it doesn't lead to a termination. They're accusing him of having a fake contract. I mean, a fake doctor's note. I'm sorry, I'm looking at a contract. A fake doctor's note. Sad. Life is too fragile. It's too hard. We got to try to plan and think things through. Because at the end of the day, people really don't care what happens to you. They're worried about themselves. They are worried about themselves. Anyway, let me know what you all think. Thanks for watching. Feel free to comment, like, subscribe, and share, and I'm out.